I gotta record it. So I'm gonna be recording this just because some of the stuff that I have to go over is like really good. So how's everybody doing? Y'all good? Everybody's awake?
Yep. Making French toast.
Nice. All right, awesome. So guys, I'm gonna get right into it. I don't like wasting time. I like getting right to the point and making sure you guys get the value, get the understanding and awareness that I need to bring to the table for y'all. So this past week, I heard a breakdown of a three-way call from Chris Derrick that I want to go over with you guys on this call. These three-way calls, I've been doing them I've been doing them longer, and not saying that they don't work because they've definitely been working, but I think we can make it better. And so that's why I want to do this, because Chris was telling me that they've been 11 out of 11 when he told us about this in the past 2 days when he told us. And I was like, okay, damn, I got to check this out. And he basically just went over kind of the overview while I was sitting there, and I basically copied everything verbatim. I recorded it, and I went back and I listened over it. So what I want to do first is kind of give the purpose of why we do Saturday team calls, why I do them, why we do everything in general. And it's to get better, right? It's to get better at whatever we're doing, okay? To become more efficient, more effective at the things that we're focusing on, okay? Whether that's, trading primarily or trading in building, whatever it is, whatever you're focusing on, we're trying to get better at it, okay? There's always something to learn. That you will never get to a point where it's like, oh, I don't know what else to learn about this. I'm like, no. The second you start thinking that you have all the answers is the second you become a losing player. Okay, I think Gary Vee said that, but it's so true. Like, there's so much stuff out there that for us to learn and get better, we are always in learning mode, okay? So we do these calls because I talk to people throughout the week, 6-7-figure earners, chairman 10s, people who are on the verge of hitting chairman 10, all these kinds of people, other top traders, okay? And I bring the value to these calls. I also notice any challenges that the team is having throughout the week, and I kind of bring that to light on these calls and kind of, reiterate, okay, you guys having problems, let's go over this, whatever. These are what these calls are for. These are not for me. These are not me just sitting up here and talking out of my own, my own brain. It's value and information that I'm getting from other people, and that value and information you guys can apply and really revamp the way that you're doing things. The one thing that I wanted to say is, I asked a couple questions in the group chat earlier. I hope that you guys wrote them down. These are more along, anybody can answer these, but if you're building, you definitely should have answered these questions. If you haven't, please take the time today. Like, these aren't for me, these are for you, something to think about. But one of the questions were, what are your biggest goals for 2018? What are your biggest goals for 2018? And what have been your biggest challenges of 2017, right? Because we want to go into the new year. I've already started, 2018 is on right now, it's ready to go. So I don't want to bring the same challenges, the same lessons that I still need to learn into 2018, all the, the garbage, the bullshit. I don't want to bring that into 2018. So kind of reflecting on that, what have I been doing consistently wrong or that hasn't been the most effective in 2017 that I need to make better in 2018, okay? Having that awareness is so important. And then what are your goals? What are your goals for 2018? Having that clarity with what you want, having that, kind of visual for yourself to look forward to work towards is very, very important, okay? So make sure you write those down, have an understanding for what those things are. And then the last question that I had in there is, when are you hitting Platinum 1000? For everyone that's wanting to build, when are you hitting Plat 1000? Obviously, if you haven't gotten your 3 personals yet, that's priority. And then obviously Plat 600 is kind of that foundational rank. But Plat 1000, I'm telling you, I'm a P1000 right now. I've been saying this, but I am. I'm inches away from Plat 2K right now. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I never realized how much of a difference Plat 1000, just income makes a difference. And it also shows you 30 people is what you need for Plat 1000. I have more than 30 people that I've worked with, that I've brought on and showed the platform. And I started to realize over the summer that, yo, you're actually impacting people. Nick, I'm gonna shout you out really quick. Like, Nick had a phenomenal day. Not this past week, but I think it was the week before. He's been, he started in February. We met out in Arizona, and he was in and out. He was in and out. He was going through some stuff. But when he got back and serious about this, he was consistently plugging in, learning. I'm telling you, he was always in my inbox. He comes over here and there. We're actually meeting up tomorrow, but he was consistently asking questions and reaching out. I won't say the income disclaimer or anything like that, or disclosure. I put it on my Snapchat. I'm just going to say he had a phenomenal day, and that's just from plugging in and being consistent. And that's what this whole thing is about. He even reached out, I want to get better, this, and that. And that's what this is all about. Okay, getting better, becoming more efficient and effective with what we're doing. Just have that mindset, okay? I'm just always trying to get better, 1% better. You're building a brick wall, and you're adding 1 brick a day. Sometimes 2 a day, depending on, whatever happens. I don't know. So that's really, really important. And I also want to shout out, this week was actually a pretty big week. I've been ecstatic all week, but 2 people, Caitlin and Daniela, both smashed Platinum 150 this week. Like, I'm so excited. So congratulate them if you haven't already. And then 2 people on the team got their first personals. That's huge, because it's not even about the personal. It's literally about the fact, like, yo, I can do this. Because I know that when I got my first, I was like, damn, it's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling of, like, I didn't have any confidence. And when I got, when I started helping more people, it was like, damn, like, you can do this. There's no reason why. So that's huge. That is huge. So I just wanted to bring that back to y'all and congratulate you and things like that. But yeah, take those things down into consideration. What are your biggest goals for 2018? Biggest challenges of 2017? When are you hitting Platinum 1000? And I want to know, who is going chairman in 2018? Who's going chairman? Like, that's a no-brainer. Like, I'll talk about this at the end, about, like, this project thing that I've mentioned before in the chat earlier this week, but I'll talk about it in just a sec. Now, what I want to go into is this 3-way call, okay? Basically, I wrote the whole script. I'm just going to run through it briefly. It should take me like 3 minutes, okay? But the call itself is only supposed to be like 5 to 7 minutes long. And I'm going to send this script out for anybody that wants it. Just message me, just inbox me, okay? And I'll send it to you. I gotta go through a couple further things, just make sure it looks good, and obviously critiquing it as we go, but this is it. So basically, this 3-way call, Chris is like, I literally recorded him, just kind of going over it. So basically, it's going to be you. I'm talking about you. So say you get me on a 3-way call. We're going to do it like this, okay? So say you get me on a 3-way call with your friend, and I'm going to just give some names to, just make it easier. So you the person. So we're going to talk about who's on this call. Tony. All right, Tony. So pretty much Tony got me on a 3-way call, right? And so Tony would start off and say, hey, Abby, are you there? This is on the 3-way call. Your friend's already on. Hey, Abby, are you there? Yeah, I'm here. What's going on, Tony? What's going on, guys? Whatever. Awesome. So say his friend's name is Josh, right? Josh, I want to introduce you to Abby. Boom. This is where you edify me, okay? Edification, don't get, like, I used to be intimidated by that word. It just means introduce the other person, but you basically are trying to tell their story. I am actually not telling my story on these calls. Like I said, they're only 5 minutes long. Tony doesn't even need to go into that much detail. Like, basically you could say, like, oh, Abby went to school, she studied blah, 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 and, she came out in over $100,000 student loan debt, knew she needed to do something different, and, just whatever, right? It's a story. You're basically talking about me. You're saying where I am now, how much, impacted, whatever, right? You're edifying me so that you set the standard, that credibility, all right? That trust. This is the whole point of this, okay? Okay, cool. That's all you say, Tony. You are done. After you say, hey, are you there? Josh, I want to introduce you to Abby. Edify me. Boom, you're done. That's it. You don't have to talk anymore. This is like 5 minutes. And then I'll come on and I'll basically just say, hey, man, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard so many great things about you from Tony, yada, yada, yada. Maybe say something that you've heard about them. And, Chris, he went over and said specifically the questions that he asked. He said, how are you doing, Josh? How are you feeling? You feel good? It's like, yeah, I feel really good. This is awesome. Whatever they say. So I'll come back in there and I'll say, awesome. So before I start, I just want you to understand who you're actually talking to and working with. Tony is one of my best friends throughout this whole movement, and there's only a few select people that I choose to launch with. And if I had to choose certain people to make it to the top and get to that next level, you're actually working with that individual. And I just want you to understand that. So basically, he's making it very clear how significant Tony is, because maybe Tony brings on like one of his good friends who only see Tony in a certain way, like the Tony they grew up with or whatever. They don't see the Tony, the business-minded guy who's learning how to trade. So I need to edify Tony, okay? So, and then he would come in there and say, all right, so Josh, Tony told me that you're that type of person who will take advantage of opportunities when they arise. Is that true? The reason why I'm saying, is that true? Or you feel good? All these things, is that correct? Is because I want them to agree with me, right? You want to bring that positivity. You want them to agree with what you're saying. And then the friend is like, yeah, of course. They're probably going to say yeah or whatever. So we're just going to go with the flow. The calls could be different. This is just a scenario, okay? And we can adjust and adapt as we go. And then basically I'd come in there and say, awesome. So out of everything you saw, what was your favorite part? What did you like best? Okay, friend would be like, they say, oh, I liked IML TV. Or, you can make money doing anything, anywhere in the world. Basically, whatever they like, you love. Whatever they like, you love. So Chris basically broke it down. They said they liked IML TV. You say, wow, yeah, that's actually one of my favorites. The fact of the matter is people are guided and trained so they can actually, have something, or they can eventually trade on their own. The whole purpose is to have something interact. You basically just kind of like talking about the service or talking about whatever they liked, and he just kind of edified that thing. That's basically what he was doing. So if they said something else, just know what you're talking about, and you can say that. Whenever you get in that position to edify or become a host. The friend's like, yeah, for sure. And then I'm going to come back in there. The host person says, all right, awesome. So I'm going to ask you a question real quick. On a scale 1 to 10, 10 being this is 100% all for you, where do you stand? So now you notice I used to say, on a scale 1 to 10, 1 meaning I don't want to do this at all, 10 meaning let's rock and roll right now. He doesn't even say I don't want to do this at all. It's psychology. So he basically just says on a scale 1 to 10, 10 being this is 100% all for you, where do you stand? Right? Say your friend, so he gives kind of two different scenarios. Say your friend says, I don't know, 6 or 7 or 8 or something, right? He says, basically from here, he would say, awesome, man. So how can I get you to a 10? Is it questions that you still need to be answered? He said, yeah, I have some questions. Boom. Okay, from here, this is kind of cool in the way that he does this, and I didn't really know how to transition from here in the past, but this is good. So he basically said, all right, cool. What he said, basically, if they have questions, then we bam fam. I've never even heard of that before, but he basically says you book a meeting from a meeting. Bam fam, book a meeting from a meeting. So basically from there, the guy or the host, in this situation, me, I would say, all right, awesome, Josh. I understand that you have some questions and need further clarity with this. And I'm not here to waste your time or persuade you. I'm just here to show you the results. And I just thought that you were that type of person that not only wanted to make money, but is open to opportunity. But if not, that's okay. So here's what I'm actually going to do with you or do for you. At 7:30 p.m. tomorrow, whenever the call is, right? This is really what you got to understand and be aware of. I'm going to have you go through another intro to trading overview, which is like a live call. Okay, you can actually see it for yourself and be more engaged. Maybe seeing a live call will actually make the difference. So if I can get you on that call at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow, I have to confirm that you'll be there because, there are only so many seats available, and that means I would be giving a seat away. So can you confirm you'll be on the call? Like straight to the point. No more talking than you need to. Okay. The friend is basically doing this call for validation purposes. Okay. And so basically say the friend says, yeah, if the friend says no, like they can't make the call, obviously do a different time, or you can just send them a recording, maybe send them a different recording than you did previously. Like, again, we can adapt. We can do something different. Okay. This isn't just set in stone, but say the friend says, yeah, I can do that. All right, perfect. Tony, if you can go ahead and send them the link for the call at that time, Tony, you would basically just reach out and say, awesome, can you download the app Zoom? They probably, this actually might be a phone call, but it doesn't matter. But have them download the app Zoom, and then you'll send them the link 30 minutes before the call, you'll reach out to them and say, hey Josh, what's going on? Are you ready for the call? Starts in 30 minutes. I let I let Abby know that you're going to be on there. Yada, 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 whatever you have to say. Okay. So basically he says, all right, perfect. Tony, if you can go ahead and send in the link for the call at that time. Other than that, it was a pleasure, and I'll talk to you guys shortly. Literally, I'm gonna hang up. There should be no more talking. Tony doesn't even have to say anything else on the call. That's it. Because they know and they understand that your time is valuable, that you gotta go. That was only a 5-minute call. You don't have time to waste, remember? And so now I want to give you the scenario. Say they actually do say, oh yeah, I'm a 10. That would be amazing, right? So if they say 10, after you ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, they say, oh, I'm a 10. I'm actually ready to get started. You say, awesome. You're working with a really great person. Tony is going to take care of you. And Tony is going to take care of you. You're going to have this whole checklist when you get started. If you have any questions for me, let me know. And then basically you would kind of go into saying, Tony, you're awesome. Thank you for everything you've been doing. Really out there working hard. I appreciate the both of you guys for helping on this call. It was a pleasure. Talk to you shortly. Hang up. That's it. Like, that's the call. Okay. And this is probably a lot of information. Like I said, I have this all right now. So if you want to see it yourself, message me so that you can start preparing. Because honestly, guys, I was at a point when I was not doing 3-way calls. I was scared out of my mind to be the one talking on there. You can ask Abu. I don't know if he's on here, but I had him on calls like every single day. When I first got started, we were on 3-way calls 3 to 4 times every single day. And it took me like 3-4 months just to get like comfortable with actually speaking to people. And that's my own learning curve. That's my journey. You guys might have a different journey. You might get on there quicker than me. But the whole point of this is you want a 3-way. Like, even when I'm chairman, I'm gonna still ask to do 3-way calls with somebody. I'll ask Christopher, Derek, whoever, Abu, Edwin. I'll ask more other people, because it's not the fact that maybe I am a chairman 10. Who cares? That third party credibility is so important. It's so important. And when you start talking to more experienced people in this industry, you're going to want to have that third party credibility. So knowing and kind of being aware of the conversation is really good for you, because then you can start to learn how to carry yourself and really convey who you are and things like that. But when I heard this, Chris was just very fluent with what he was saying on Tuesday. But this was amazing. So if you guys want this, message me after the call, and I'll send it to you. I want to go through it a little bit really quick and just kind of critique a few things, but I will definitely send it to you. So 5 to 7 minutes. And guys, if you aren't utilizing 3-way calls, you're really only hurting yourself. If you're out there talking to people too much, you're not sending them the exposure link, recorded call, a live call, or sending them to an event, you're doing yourself a disservice. Like, you're not capitalizing on the system. You're not using the duplicated system. For me, I literally, like, if I talk to people in person, I won't mention a lot. I get out of Forex. I actually, I'll wait for them to ask me, and I don't give them any details, because this is privileged information. Are you serious? Are you ready to hear about this? Because I don't know if people are ready to take in this information. Some people don't deserve this information, and you don't want to give them the information if they don't deserve your time, if they aren't respecting your time. So I don't give this to everybody. Like I said, like, I treat these live calls, these events, like there's only a certain amount of seats, and I only want to give it to the people that are serious, that are not here to waste my time, that are at least hungry and motivated to come check it out, because they are open to opportunity. They are open to making more money or whatever it is. Okay. So you have to start treating it like that. Otherwise people are going to walk all over you. And that was literally me the better part of this year, the earlier part of this year. I could not for the life of me allow people to respect my time and things like that. And so I'm giving you this information so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. So guys, if you're talking way too much when you're in person with people or on a call or whatever, like on 3-way calls, you should not be talking at all. Only at the beginning when you introduce and edify the person that you got on the call to do the 3-way. But that's it. And then after, we kind of went over that. So that's the call. Okay. Very, very simple, to the point, nothing fancy, but, yeah. So let me actually talk about this next part. I want to see who's on here. All right, cool. So the next part of this that I kind of wanted to go over was staying organized. This was something that I've always thought that I was a very organized individual, but I'm realizing in business, like, you have to be really organized. And I carried that organization into it, but I was really just trying to find some kind of, system of where I can kind of put everything of what I was doing. And I know that staying organized is literally one of the foundational tools that you need in order to continue to grow. Because if you're not organized, everything's just kind of going to be all over the place, okay? So staying organized is actually a sign of maturity in whatever you're focusing on, in whatever you're doing, because you're actually taking it seriously, right? What we do with this system, right, that we plug people into is to prepare and develop you. And the last thing that I'm going to go over here really quick is, and I kind of went over it last weekend, is the system that I've kind of developed, that I've taken from other leaders, other individuals that have been doing this longer than me, and I've kind of put it all together and creating my own that works, okay? Basically, what I want to say is this 90-day game plan. I want to talk about the importance of a 90-day game plan. I spoke to Matt Rosa a couple weeks ago, and we had a call, and he basically says he does everything in 90-day increments. Like, it doesn't matter if you're day 1, you're day 100, whatever. He does everything in 90-day increments, and there's a reason for that. Basically, we all should have some kind of vision for our life. Imagine if you just started with us, you just joined IML, and I said, all right, what's your 2-year, what's your year goal, right? Your vision. A lot of people may say something, but they can't actually fathom it. They can't actually fathom the process of what it takes to get to that point. So we break it down into smaller visions, right? Which I like to refer to as 90-day increments, 90-day periods, because people can actually chew and swallow their food within a 90-day period. They can take that in. And so what we do is we design a game plan for them, basically a checklist of things that they have to do in order to be successful. Now, I don't want people to come, and the way that I kind of explain this to people is, this isn't me trying to tell you what to do. This isn't me out here, like, none of that. It's literally me guiding you, your friend, say it's Caitlin, right? Caitlin gets me on a welcome call. It's us being there for that person to guide them, to help them through whatever they're about to journey, right? Through trading, whether they want to start building, whatever it is. We have a game plan ready to rock and roll. Like, everybody should be on a 90-day game plan. Matt Rosa right now told me he is on a 90-day game plan. What is in 90 days? March, Vegas. They're doing the chairman run again. They're after Chairman 500. He's on a 90-day game plan. So why aren't you? Why aren't we on a 90-day game plan? Or breakdown, however you want to look at it, okay? And this game plan, this sets you up step by step to allow you to develop yourself. So when somebody brand new just gets started, yeah, I want to plug them into something like this because they don't know what they're doing. And if they do it properly, I don't know if I think Malik might be working. I'm going to shout him out too. He, I don't know if you guys know this, but he actually started in September of this year. I went out there to San Diego to see my cousin, and the day I was leaving, about 45 minutes before my flight left, I met Malik at like a coffee shop, and he actually ended up signing up on the spot, and we went over a game plan with him. Everything that I texted him later that day on kind of the things that he had to do. It wasn't the structure that I have right now, but it was something, okay? And the point of what I'm trying to tell you guys is he followed this plan. He followed the checklist. He followed everything that was in front of him, and he stayed consistent. He plugged in and day out. And guess what he just did this last week? He just had his first $1,000 week. It was more like a $1,000 day, but it was a $1,000 week overall, okay? So that's only 90 days. He started like September 5th or whatever it was. And what was Friday? It was December 8th. That's 90 days. That's basically 90 days. So what I want you guys to understand is you follow the system, you plug in, you stay consistent with what's in front of you. I swear to you, you're going to get the results that you're working towards. You just have to stay consistent. And Malik's the type of person that asks a bunch of questions. He's always in my inbox. And it's funny, the people that continue to ask the most questions continue to get the greatest results, and they actually sustain those results. and eventually they'll amplify their results. And that's what we want with this, right? We don't want to just stay stagnant. We want to continue to get better, okay? So a 90-day game plan is what we need to ensure that every single person, when they get brought on, plugs into. Now, I'm already doing the welcome calls with a lot of people. I've done a lot of welcome calls this past actually several weeks, and I've been getting better at kind of going over it. Now, I know that every single leader is most likely down the road going to have their own system, their own way of kind of doing things, and that's fine. We're all individuals. We're all, we're all unique in the way that we do things, okay? But if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a system that you're following, or maybe you had something, but it's not really working out for you, because I got to ask yourself, when was the last time you brought in a personal? When was the last time you smashed rank in the last 30 days, right? When was the last time you helped somebody on your team reach their goals, whether it was getting their monthly for free, whether it was plugging them in so that they can be successful in trading, right? When was the last time you did something like that? Because whatever you're doing may not be the best way, may not be the most effective and efficient way to do things. So I've created something that we all can use. And if you find a better way to do it, one, I would love for you to tell me. I'm always open to making what I'm doing better, but go for it, use it. And if it's working, just focus on that. That's fine. I just created something that we can all use and plug into, because I understand how important it is to have a system, to have something to kind of plug people into, because systems are duplicatable. And when you have duplication, it allows for momentum. Okay. And without duplication, it just becomes busy work. It just becomes work in general. And I'm not down on jobs, but it just becomes like a job. Okay. And I know a lot of people in here are not here to work a job, right? You may have a job. That's fine. You do your thing because you love it, because you enjoy it. But this is not about that. This is not about trading your time for money. This is about creating a system, okay, or investing and getting your money to work for you, learning how to trade, okay, whatever it is, so that you can have like I said, you can have money working for you. You can have that time and financial freedom. That's the goal with this, okay? If you want to trade your time for money, go work a job. That's fine. This is not what this is, and this is not what we want to create, okay? What was the other thing I was going to say? So, 3-way call, staying organized, 90-day game plan. That's basically it. I have the 3-way call breakdown. I'm trying to create a system for everything so you guys can just plug into it. And if you want it, I'll send it to you. Only if you're serious, message me and I will send it to you. Okay. And then I have the 90-day game plan, breakdown, checklist, whatever you want to call it, for brand new people that I've been using for them. Okay. And I can send that to you as well. Just message me and I'll send that whole thing to you. I'll probably email it to you because it's kind of longer, but you can get an idea of how I do things. And if you think of something better, let me know. Yeah. And then the other thing that I was going to say too, I've been talking about this for a minute here and there, but I know how important it is, guys, to go to Vegas. And I want to ask you guys like a serious question. Okay. Are you going to Vegas? And now if you're saying, no, I can't because I can't afford it, or I don't know if I'm going to get the days off, whatever. I want to tell you this. If you're saying that right now, today's December 9th, and Vegas is March 16th, you are saying that you cannot afford it in 90 days because you're thinking about your current situation and how that's going to be in 90 days. You're literally putting your current self in your future instead of expanding your belief, expanding who you are, and saying, no, I'm going to be a different person in 90 days because I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to be putting in the work, and I'm going to be developing myself and growing over the next 90 days. 90 days from now is March 9th or so, March 10th, okay? You have plenty of time to save up $500 or less. You probably won't even need that much, okay? You could probably get a cheap flight. The ticket is like $75, which y'all need to get those tickets because I know that they're going to go, they're going to increase the price, okay? Like, this is so simple. You just have to focus on a plan. Because if you don't have a plan of action, you're not taking what you're doing seriously, okay? So everyone that's saying that they can't go because they can't afford it, whatever the excuse is, because it's always it's just an excuse, guys. We always get what we want at the end of the day. If you prioritize going to Vegas, you, by God, will get to Vegas. Okay, I promise you. A year ago, Alex and I were told, Abu told us to go to Dallas in January. I just started in October. He didn't tell me about it until like the end of November. I was like, bro, you literally gave me like a month and a half. And at that time, I was like, I don't know if I can go. And Alex hadn't even joined yet, right? And so Alex and I both went. Okay, we got a cheap flight. We bought our ticket like last minute. Okay, and no, we bought our ticket as soon as he told me. He was like, Abby, you need to get your ticket out. And I was like, all right, let's get the ticket. We bought our flight last minute. We got our ticket right away, and we didn't even stay. Like we camped out in the airport. Okay. And that's what I did in Orlando or Houston, okay? You make it happen. I'm just saying, like, we literally did whatever it took. And I'm telling you, I was not even making $2,000 a month, and I had 10-plus bills that I was paying for on top of my massive student loan debt, 2 massive student loan debt payments every single month. So I want to say, guys, like, you can make it happen. It's just your level of belief. It's just the fact that you are still thinking about your current situation in 90 days, in 6 months from now. And I got to tell you, if you continue to think like that, that's all your reality is ever going to be, is how you're living right now. You have got to take yourself out of your current situation and put yourself in where you could be, okay? That's what we do with other people. When you talk to people and they're struggling and they're giving you excuse after excuses because they keep living right now instead of visualizing where they could be. Your job is to take them out of their hardship, take them out of their struggle, and put them and paint a picture in a place of where they could thrive, of where they could be better. That's all this is. And I guarantee if you guys all follow a system, if you all follow a game plan for yourself within the next 90 days, you will be where you want to be. You will be 10 times closer than you ever could imagine. Because I'm telling you guys, 2018, this team who stays consistent, who plugs in on a regular basis, you're going to have massive blessings in 2018. Blessings that you cannot even fathom. Okay, I'm just telling you that right now. Like, I've already declared I'm going chairman in 2018. And I've already declared that I'm helping 500 plus people in 2018 within their first 90 days create an extra $1,000 a month by the end of that 90 days. Why do I say that? It's funny because I said that on Wednesday this week in my head. I was writing stuff down, and Malik messages me on Thursday saying that he made it was like $1,200 that day, and that was his 90-day. And I was like, yo, this is possible. Like, this is more than possible. Even if you come out of there only making like $500 overall, because maybe you have a slower learning curve, that's fine. That was me. Okay, that was me all the way. Would you be mad? No, because you put in the work. You probably grew 10 times more, and probably right around the corner is going to be your breakthrough. That's how I'm feeling right now. I'm like, yo, it's coming. I feel it. And you have to feel that within yourself. So guys, like, the reason why I push Vegas too is because you're going to feel things. You're going to see things that you've never felt or seen before. You just can't replace the energy that's going to be in that room with multiple 6, 7, 8, and 9-figure earners. Like, Chris Terry is nearly a 9-figure earner. You cannot replace that kind of information. You cannot replace that kind of energy around you. I've been to 3 out of the 4 events this year. I'm telling you, I regretted not going to that last event, or the event in April. I had to go to, like, something major came up with my family. I had to go back to it. But guys, like, it is so important because you make decisions in events like that. You see and feel things that you never would have felt or seen before when you're in that kind of environment. So there's like less than a minute left. I do want to say this really quick. If you guys are interested in learning more about how I'm getting so many people interested on my Snapchat and things like that, message in the KISS chat, and I'll put out another Zoom link, and I'll go over that briefly on what I've been doing, because I'm telling you, man, it's working. It's working like clockwork. It's crazy. But other than that, guys, I appreciate all of you hopping on this call every single Saturday, listening to me run my mouth. But I'm going to end this meeting. Message me for any of that stuff, and I'll talk to you guys really, really soon.